So thanks so much for taking the time to interview with us today. My name is Angie, and what is your full name?
My full name is Gao Yang in Chinese,
Uh-huh.
and you can call me Herschel too.
Awesome. And so how do you spell that name, that French name?
Uh, it is Herschel.
Okay, okay. Interesting. Well,
Facile?
it's a very beautiful name. Yeah. So, I want to ask you, I have your resume in front of me, and
Okay.
but before we dive into that, I just want to ask you a fun question. So, what did you do to celebrate the new year?
The New Year. Actually, I went home and celebrated with my junior high school friends. We haven't seen each other for about 3 years, and I was really excited to spend time with them. I think it's really one of the most happiest year I've spent.
Wow, that is so cool. So these are your
Yeah,
junior high, like your middle school classmates.
yeah.
Is that right? Wow, wow.
Well,
And where is your hometown? Where did you go back to?
uh, it's in Xi'an, Shanxi province.
Uh-huh. Okay.
2A.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's where
Yeah,
the
yeah,
the
yeah.
terracotta warriors are,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
famous
yeah. You
city.
know it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
With
so,
you go.
yeah, so with your classmates, are you guys surprised at all by how you've grown up? Do you think there's anything that's
Mm,
surprising to you now?
I think actually our look don't change too much.
Uh-huh.
We still have the similar face,
Uh-huh.
just a little bit fatter.
Uh-huh.
However, we went to different university 3 years ago, and one of them went to Fujian province, which is belong to the beach, and
Yeah.
there is a sea there.
Yeah.
So get she gets a little bit blacker.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because she was not that comfortable with the season in no no the climate in Shanxi
Mm-hmm.
Xi'an,
Mm-hmm.
because in Fujian there is still very warm there. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's still very warm there. So she is not comfortable with the climate, but others
Right.
is okay.
Yeah.
And one of my friend actually learned architecture, and she always worked into late midnight,
Mm-hmm.
because architecture is very you know a hard subject to learn.
Right. Yeah.
uh, she
Very
started she
time intensive.
started yeah, time consuming. And she started joining after university, so
Mm.
it's even harder for him
Yeah.
for her to do that.
Yeah.
And another friend actually didn't come because she was busy with her work
Mm.
about some relics in China.
So, is there anything about you personally, like would the younger you be
uh,
surprised by anything about the current you?
uh, I think if you look me for the external thing, I think I get a little bit chubby.
But what about not external, not external. I
No,
mean
it's
about,
inside.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, Inside, I think I grow more and more mature. Uh, when I was young, actually, I spent a lot of time um, um, just about study. However, after entering university, I tried a lot of things that I have never, brave enough to do.
Mm.
Like, yeah, I think it's very important for me to do a lot of try things
Hmm.
in the university, because I think it makes me not only just broaden my horizon,
Hmm.
but also level up my life.
Hmm.
I think it's quite important.
What
Yeah.
is one thing that really challenged you that you felt leveled up, brought you to the next level?
um, Actually, in my first year as a freshman in my university, I joined a group named Isaac. Do you know that?
Uh-uh. No.
Actually, it's an international group.
Okay.
You can see in my resume. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And in our group, we
AIECE. SEC. Yeah, it's an
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
international organization, right?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
it's about to be the change you want to see the world is the slogan of that group.
Okay. Uh-huh.
I think it's really cool, and in the first year I went to university. I actually invited with my friends. We invited about 6 foreign volunteers to China in Beijing, and we spent Spring Festival together. And besides, actually, the aim of their trip is to help the kids in China who are disabled to teach them something about English and also some foreign culture. I think
Mm-hmm.
that was really meaningful. However, if I was younger, I think I had to spend Spring Festival with my family, not
Mm.
the friends,
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
new, actually the strange. But I think it's really cool and meaningful.
Yeah, that is so cool. And tell me about you've had lots of internship experiences. So, which of your internships has helped you really define your goals for the future?
Okay. Actually, I know I have a lot of internship because when I first went to university, I don't know my career goal. So
Mm.
I tried marketing in Ogilvy and also tried something like auditing in Ernst and Young.
Mm-hmm.
However, nowadays, recently, I have been spent most of the time in TF Security Limited,
Okay.
which is a financial company. And there is a guide for me who is a chief analyst in the industry of food and beverage. During this, actually, I just spent 10 days there, but I think that's what I want in near future
Okay.
because um, um, if be an analyst, I have to not only to deal with some research things, but also have an eye to observe the neighborhood
Mm.
to uh, actually not only to deal with the computer things, the data things, but to actually have some real talks with the people in that industry to know what the really outcome is that do those listed companies have
Mm-hmm.
and what um, what will be going to happen in the near future like what I'm now working with is a catering industry chain report.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah,
okay,
tell me about that specific project and how did you engage critically and how did you analyze the data
uh,
you got? Yeah, tell me more.
okay. Uh, Actually, I started with that about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and actually, that's the second day I joined the company, and
Wow.
it was a really challenge for me because I have never finished a report by myself.
Uh-huh.
But my instructor just gave it to me because we have an interview before. He thinks I have the ability uh, to have some deep insights into the industry.
Mm.
So he gave that challenge to me,
Uh-huh.
and at first I just talked with some um, um, the basic rules to write in reports with my colleagues, and they taught me a lot. And after that, I extracted some data from database like One or Bloomberg to do some analytical things. And after that, I found if you just do some deal with the numerical things, I think is not that deep, and you can just make some conclusions from what others have done. So I talked with one of my friends. His father has a big company about agriculture,
Mm-hmm.
which is the supplier of some food industry companies.
Okay.
So we had a deep talk actually yesterday afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah, and I knew a lot more, which could not be concluded from the internet or other things. So I think,
Wow.
and one important thing my instructor taught me is that when you're doing research, do not focus on what have done nowadays,
Hmm.
but stand at the point of 10 years later,
Okay.
as now it is 2030. At that point,
Uh-huh.
you look back to 2020, then you will have a sense of long term of a trend. I think
Right.
that's really important. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So considering that you've learned so much, just from your brief work experiences, why do you want to go to graduate school now? Why not just go take a job and learn on the job? Why do you want to get a master's degree?
I think first, as what I said, um, um, before entering university, actually, I just know the word of finance, but I know what exactly it is. I think although there 4 years has passed, uh, the some I don't get deep insight into finance. From my resume, you can see it is the first exact financial company in my internship.
Hmm.
Although I'm happy with that, but I'm not sure if I can see a more complicated, complete world of finance.
Hmm.
I may be interested in more things, and actually, I would join a internship after the Spring Festival
Hmm.
about about the impact investment.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's very fresh in China
Uh-huh.
because even in my internship, I am trying a lot of different things more. I
Yeah.
think it's a very good opportunity for me to join a graduate school to see a bigger world.
Hmm. Okay, we're back from a technical difficulty. We're we're coming towards the end of our time. You just said that you're going to take another internship in impact investing. So you're
Yeah,
still exploring different
yeah,
interests. Yeah.
I'm still exploring a more complete financial world.
Uh-huh.
So I think it's a very good opportunity for me to join a graduate school, to explore, explore,
Yeah.
and that's also the reason why I chose to come America,
Hmm.
because I think the finance industry in America is, I can say it's most complete
Yeah.
and also most material.
Okay.
So I think if I go to there, yeah, that's the reason.
And so you've tried out different kinds of internships, and you've also had your school experience working with different clubs. What are one or two of your key like strengths or traits that you think you take with you no matter what kind of work you're doing?
You mean the strength of me?
Yeah.
Uh, I think it's the curiosity.
Hmm.
Unlike most Chinese students, because the education system, I think it's most because the education system's
Mm.
reason. So most Chinese students put their most attention to their study alone, but
Hmm.
do not want to waste time to see a bigger world.
Mm.
Instead, I am the one who have enough curiosity to do different kind of things.
Hmm.
Besides the studying thing alone, I also joined some internship, also some students experience,
Mm.
and actually during the past 20 years of my life, I went to more than 10 countries around the world.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, and I also went to America when I
Hmm.
was in senior high.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, in 2015. Yeah,
Very
so
cool.
I think it's the curiosity that motivates people, that motivates the civilization of the human
Hmm.
uh, change, to level up. So I think that's the most important reason that I motivate myself too.
Hmm.
I think it's a curiosity.
Hmm. That is awesome. That is awesome. Well, we're coming towards the end of our time in the interview, but at the end, you can add anything you want to. So, is there anything that we haven't talked about that you'd like to add?
Time is so quick.
It goes
uh,
by really quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think most important, um, maybe the experience of coffee thing or
Uh-huh. Anything you want, anything that you want, the admission officers to know more about you.
Okay, actually, um, I like reading a lot,
Okay.
especially reading foreign literature.
Okay.
Uh, and one of my favorite writers is from Sweden named Frederick.
Okay.
Uh,
Uh-huh.
yeah, and so every weekend, if I am available, I would go to the bookstore. But nowadays in China, bookstore is beaten by the online shops,
Mm.
so they always earn money from selling things like coffee or some desserts.
Mm-hmm.
Cause when I go to bookstore every weekend, I have it leads me to have an interest in coffee.
Mm-hmm.
so
Cool.
so I actually last year in April I went to Indonesia,
Uh-huh.
Bali Island, to explore the coffee planting uh, there,
Uh-huh.
and with my mom because she also enjoys it.
Uh-huh.
So and I'm willing to have a steady coffee this year every weekend because I don't have any lessons this semester. So I
Mm-hmm.
decided to actually join internship after then, and every weekend I would be a part-time barista. Uh,
Oh, very
yeah,
cool.
yeah, and I think that's also correspond to my ability of curiosity because I
Uh-huh.
think actually curiosity is an ability.
Yeah.
Is yeah. So I think and also I've been playing ping pong for more than 15 years.
Oh,
I
fun.
have yeah because my mom wanted me to be persistent.
Uh-huh.
So she drove me to ping pong class every weekend for 6 years,
Wow.
never stop. So,
Wow.
so thanks to my mom, actually, I really love my dad and mom. They taught me a lot. My mom taught me to be open to the world,
Uh-huh.
to have an open mind, and also to be curious. And once you decide to do something, you have to persist on the exact thing.
Mm-hmm.
Never say never.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really important. Thanks. I think nowadays my honor or my life, I think my parents contribute to it a lot.
Uh-huh. Okay, so we had a technical issue right at the end of our interview. It was really cool to hear about your different experiences, and so cool that you can, with coffee, like you can see the whole process from
Yeah,
the coffee plantation to
yeah,
actually delivering that experience to the customer. And I'm sure that will help you as you're studying finance, business, and things like that as well.
yeah.
Um, so thanks for chatting with me, and best of luck with your applications.
Thanks.
You're
It's
welcome.
really nice to talk with you.
You too.